Hi guys, Brian with Diamond Fire Glass. I decided to make a video this morning to address a subject that I'm asked about regularly. The subject is, Brian, when I buy a fire ring, should I point my burner holes up or should I point them down? And our suggestion is to point them up. But you might run into a plumber or a contractor that might tell you otherwise. Like I said, there's a lot of conflicting information on this subject, which is exactly why I chose today to make this video. I'm not going to call anybody right or wrong. If you've been doing plumbing for 50 years and you're dead set on pointing it down, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But what I will do is I'll give you advantages versus disadvantages and let you decide for yourself. We sell a lot of fire rings, thousands of fire rings, and we've been doing this a long time. So we've had this debate several times with many plumbers as well. I've had plumbers come in and say, I've been doing this 50 years, I've been pointing the holes down for 50 years, and if you don't do that, moisture is going to enter the fire ring, Brian. So that's their one theoretic advantage, is no moisture will enter the fire ring holes. That's a non-factor, I hate to tell you, but we've been doing this 18 years. I've sold fire rings to everybody. I've sold them to restaurants, hotels, builders, homeowners, do-it-yourselfers. Not one of them in 18 years has ever called me and said, Brian, my fire ring's flooded. The burner won't light. It doesn't happen. It's a non-factor. That's why you buy stainless steel, so that it's basically weatherproof and that you can, kind of use the thing outside. So anyway, pointing the holes downward, disadvantage of doing so is you're going to reduce your flame height by 50% right off the bat. And I've never had anybody come into my shop and say, hey Brian, I want a small flame. Doesn't happen. Go big or go home. That's the phrase. Same with a fireplace. Nobody wants a dinky little flame. If you did, light a candle. Okay, a fire ring should put out a nice big robust flame. Unfortunately, when you point it down, you're reducing the flame height of that. So if you want a larger flame, number one, point the burner holes up. Okay, number two advantage of pointing it up is you're being much more gas efficient. Simple logic. If you point the holes down, the fire's going down before it turns back and comes up, which means you're going to increase your gas pressure to get a higher flame. However, if you have it pointing upward already, you're going to be able to get a nice flame without having to open the gas valve all the way up and waste all the gas. Much more gas efficient to point it up. Thirdly, another advantage is you're putting the heat where you can enjoy it, right at the surface. When I have people over and I have a fire and I want to entertain some people and we're having a couple beverages and we're sitting by the fire, we want to feel the warmth. If you're pointing the holes down, you know what you're doing? You're heating up the contents of the fire pit. You're heating up the shell itself and anything beneath the surface. That's just doesn't make any sense at all. Put the heat where you want it. That's at the surface, and you do that by turning the burner holes upward. So 3 advantages of pointing it up, 1 theoretic advantage of pointing it down. You can decide for yourself, but we would certainly suggest pointing the holes upward for the 3 reasons I mentioned. So we've got a fire pit right here. This is how we sell our material. That's the diamond ring right there, and you can see the burner holes, they're pointing upward. So that's how we operate. We've been doing this a long, long time, and we're not going to tell anybody that they're wrong. We're going to give you advantages versus disadvantages, and you can decide for yourself. As you can see, we sell a whole lot of different fire rings back there. So I wouldn't give you bad advice. If you want to point it down and get a smaller flame and use more gas doing so and heat up the contents, I guess that's your choice. But if you want to do it the right way, point it up. Brian from Diamond Fire, thanks for listening. Have a good day.